Hello, people of the
Hey.
internet. This is not something I normally do on this channel. I don't talk about movies much. I maybe reviewed like 3 in total. But this one I had to. So we just got back from seeing
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I didn't think I would end up watching this, actually.
So before get some stuff out of the way, Winnie the Pooh became public domain in 2022. The original book. So as long as you're not infringing on anyone else's copyright like doing the Disney version, you can do anything you want with the Winnie the Pooh character. Somebody's first instinct, turn him into a serial killer.
Yep.
So we'll talk about the set. This video is going to contain spoilers. I'm telling you right now. So if you have any interest in seeing this, don't watch this video beforehand. Watch it after.
And you're also crazy if you have any interest in watching it.
We'll get there. Now, to be 100% honest with you guys, I'm kind of sick and twisted. So as soon as I saw this was happening, I was like, I gotta see this fucking thing. Because, like, the first image you see is, like, this creepy Winnie the Pooh stalking Christopher Robin. So...
Here's a dog.
So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about said film. Yeah, he just got out of his cage. He's been in there for a few hours. He's excited. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this. So the movie actually starts with an animated opening scene.
Which is pretty cool.
And you have this narrator talking about the basic premise of Winnie the Pooh, which is that a young boy named Christopher Robin met these animals, became friends with them. It immediately takes a dark turn after that. So, in this version, Christopher Robin had to go away because he was going to college to be a doctor. Wasn't there a movie like that already where Christopher Robin was just kind of gone for a while?
Yeah.
They didn't turn evil and start killing people.
But this version does.
Yeah, so they go really... Because what happened was Christopher Robin would bring them food and he would hang out with them. Without Christopher Robin to provide them food all the time,
They go crazy.
They got very hungry and very feral. So they eat Eeyore. Now, in this movie, the only ones there are Winnie the Pooh, obviously, Piglet, Rabbit, Owl, and Eeyore. There's no Kanga, there's no Roo, there's no Tigger, because those 3 are not public domain yet. Because I know Tigger was introduced in the second book, which is not public domain.
It's not.
Kanga and Roo, I don't know if they were made by Disney or if they were in the books. I have no idea. I'm familiar with the Disney Winnie the Pooh, not the original story.
Yeah.
So, forgive my ignorance there, but that act, having to kill Eeyore, made them go nuts, and they have this hatred for humanity and Christopher Robin, and they vow to never speak again, which is just an excuse for the actors not to talk.
Pretty much.
So then it cuts several years later. Christopher Robin hasn't seen them in a while, and he wants to go visit them.
So he brings his fiancée.
Who doesn't believe these things are real.
Yeah.
Which, I think in the original story, correct me if I'm wrong, aren't they like his imaginary friends? Like they're his stuffed animals? In this, they're real. They're real beings that are like not little cute teddy bears. Winnie the Pooh is like a 7-foot tall monstrosity, and Piglet's just a guy in a hog mask. But they get there and they find it's fucking desolate there, right? Like,
yeah, it's not the colorful, warm, happy 100-acre woods.
No, it's all like gloomy, and there's like skulls, and there's a Eeyore's tombstone, and Mary, his fiance's name I think was Mary.
Probably.
Like they're the only 2 characters' names I remember, besides Pooh and Piglet. But like she's like, "Yo, let's get the fuck out of here." And Robin's like, "No, I got to find out what's going on." So
and he's really British.
Well, yeah, they're all the actors are British.
It's a British movie, so like they don't shy away from having the.
So like they hide in this house, and they hear somebody walking. You don't see who it is. I'll get back to that. They wait. They're there until nightfall. Try to leave, and then his wife is jumped by Piglet, who has a chain around her neck, and he does nothing. Christopher Robin does nothing to save her.
Christopher sees Piglet attack his fiancée.
And he's like, Piglet, stop. He doesn't try to punch him. He doesn't try to elbow him. He doesn't try to clothesline him. Nothing. He just watches it happen.
Yeah.
So he runs away after his wife starts spitting up blood and her neck's broken.
But then he gets cornered by
Pooh Bear.
Pooh and Piglet.
At first, Christopher Robin's like, Pooh, help me. Piglet, something's wrong with Piglet. And Pooh's like, fuck you. And then
Pretty
he's
much.
like, he says, so many times, we used to be friends, why are you doing this? He says that like 7 or 8 times. He says the same line over and over and over and over and over again.
And I think they used the same clip twice.
I would have never left, I swear! I swear! The line
I
in
don't
the
know
trailer.
if they did. They probably reused the same scene twice.
So they cut to another animated scene where they take him, drag him into the woods, and then it's
they show him a skeleton of Eeyore, I think.
Eeyore, and it cuts from there. So then we meet our main character besides Christopher Robin.
Who's just this chick who had a
She had a stalker.
But the thing is, like, the stalker doesn't come back.
No, she doesn't get stalked by him. She gets stalked by Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
So, she and her friends go to a cabin, which for some reason there are cabins in the 100-acre wood.
I guess so.
And one of her friends is running late. He's like, hey, God. And so, like, one of the deals they made was all the chicks had to put their phones away, right? Because they're like there for like mental healing from the stalker situation.
Probably.
So the one chick tries calling their phones, nobody's answering, and then Pooh Bear's like, "Hey, bitch," and starts chasing her, and he runs hysterically. He runs like a linebacker, and like she tries hiding from him, and he eventually finds her.
And then
Slams her head into like metal, and then puts her body in a wood chipper. So, I don't think they ever find out that this girl's dead.
They never find out. So that whole scene of the friend getting lost and then killed by Pooh Bear, it doesn't come back in the story at all.
Ever.
It's just kind of pointless.
So then we have a scene where you find out that they've been torturing Christopher Robin, like he's chained up.
And then Pooh Bear starts whipping him with something.
It's Eeyore's tail. Like, that was Eeyore's tail.
Is it really?
That's Eeyore's.
Too long.
No, that was Eeyore's tail.
Wow.
Straight up, that was Eeyore's tail. Like, he has this flashback of Christopher Robin, like, Pooh Bear, you're the best bear ever. We'll never be together forever. And I guess he took that personal. Like, you see him crying while drooling honey. That's the only time you see his eyes, and it's by far the most terrifying shot in the movie.
Yeah, because it's just completely dark eyes, but like with a orange iris,
He looks like a demon in that one scene.
Yeah, he looks demented. It's the only time you ever see his eyes.
That's the only time the movie's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. So, one of the girls takes her phone back and goes to a hot tub. And Pooh hears the music and he's like, hey, Piglet, come on. So they chloroform this chick. Oh, we gotta stop. I missed something important. So he's taking selfies, right? And in one of the selfies, clear as day, Winnie the Pooh is there.
He's creeping on her from from the side of a shed or something.
And it's not like he's being subtle about it. He's just there.
You see him plain as day.
And she just brushes it off.
Because she sees him, she zooms in on him from the photo. She gets out of the hot tub, shouts out, "Hey, who's there? Someone there? Stop messing around." So she turns on the lights and she's like, whatever. I guess I'm going back in the hot tub.
And then the lights start flickering, which is supposed to be like
she's stupid. It just goes back in the hot tub like she didn't see anything.
Like, so the lights start flickering, which is supposed to be like lights off. There's Pooh Bear, lights on, lights, but you see them moving. Like, you can see them clearly moving, even in the dark. So it's not that effective. And then they chloroform her? Like, where did they get chloroform?
I guess they just had it.
And, like, this is actually really demented. So, like, they tie her arms and legs behind her back. And I don't know when Pooh learned how to drive.
But he's in the car that the girls pulled up in, I guess?
Yeah, and, like, Piglet holds this girl down under his foot.
Piglet holds her down, and then Pooh Bear slowly drives the car over her head and keeps a tire on her head so he crushes her. Her eyeball pops out, and you see her head just get crushed.
That was by far the most gruesome kill in the movie.
Yeah.
So, like, the other girls hear someone scream. They find her dead body. And they're like, what the fuck is happening?
So they all go back in the house. They see that I think her blood. I think the hot tub chick. I think Pooh Bear used her blood to spell "get out."
Oh, something I missed. When Pooh Bear was torturing Christopher Robin, he has his wife's corpse.
Oh God.
Hanging there. They pour hot boiling blood on his head from her body.
Yeah, he grabs her guts, puts them in a thing which feeds the blood through a tube, which covers Christopher Robin with like a red shower.
It's
just all her blood.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
But they see Pooh Bear looking out through a window. And they go split up to go find weapons, and one girl's like, I have a gun!
Out of nowhere, I guess.
But Pooh gets in the house. Two of the girls are watching from a balcony. Which Pooh could just look up and see them, but he never does. Then the other two get cornered by Piglet. One gets knocked unconscious. The other jumps in the pool. Never thinks to climb out of said pool. And Piglet smashes her head in with a sledgehammer. Which she could have easily escaped if she had just gotten out of the fucking pool.
And there's a part right after Piglet kills the first girl. He walks over to her and starts hitting her with the sledgehammer.
But he's hitting the water. He's not hitting her at all.
But you can tell he's just hitting the water. He's not actually hitting her.
Like, the camera angle's supposed to look like he's hitting her, but he's hitting the fucking water.
But there's no blood. You don't see the body move or anything. You just see.
I will admit, when he hits her in the face, that's actually a pretty good shot.
It was.
Like, that was pretty good.
It looked pretty genuine, to be honest.
But then, like, so they're, the other girl wakes up, and, they see Pooh and Piglet taking the friend's body. They have they have the gun. They have a clear shot to shoot both of them in the fucking head. And they don't take it.
Yeah.
Like, you're right there. You can shoot them, you can kill them. Get this over with.
But they don't do it.
They follow them instead.
And
Didn't one of the friends get captured?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the friends gets captured, and Pooh's, like, eating honey. And he's like, he gets up slowly and just quickly turns. And she wakes up, and he, instead of killing her, he just pimp slaps her.
It's so funny.
The entire theater
He
was
raises
laughing.
his hand up and just starts slapping her
Like,
for no reason.
The entire theater was laughing at that.
The theater was having a blast. It was fun.
There's some inconsistencies there, and we'll circle back to that. But the other girls find her, and they hear screaming, right? They find Christopher Robin. They save him, and he's like, get out of here. Just go. I'll be fine. You go.
And they find the chick who got pimp slapped.
Wake
and
her
then they
up.
find
Some other chick who was at the
some other girl.
She was at the beginning of the movie. Like, they ran into her at the beginning of the
But
movie.
it feels really out of place. It feels weird.
Like, her face is all sort of fucked up, right? Like, apparently she knows Pooh and Piglet's names.
Somehow.
I guess they talk to each other, but you never hear them talk.
It feels really out of place.
It does. But so she's like, I'm staying here. I'm gonna kill Piglet. And she takes the gun.
She takes the gun, yeah. And she's just
She's
at this pit where there's like a little fire in the middle going on. I think it's like a fire pit. And she's calling out to them, Come out here, you bastard.
I think she's calling him Piglet specifically, because Piglet was the one who fucked her face up.
Yeah, so she calls him over, and fires a shot, but there's no more bullets in it.
Somehow.
So Piglet takes her. No, Pooh Bear and Piglet take her.
Pooh pours honey on her face,
holds her down, and then Piglet eats her face.
It was so. The other girls scream. Pooh starts chasing them,
but the girl who got captured before, a redhead,
she
actually stays behind and urges the other two girls to run away. She actually
she kills Piglet.
Yeah.
She beats him to death with his own sledgehammer, which Pooh...
Yeah, she knocks him unconscious first, ties him up with chains and shit, and she just keeps hitting him over and over with the sledgehammer to the face.
And he eventually does die.
And she kills him, which is really cool.
But then
she actually took him out.
Pooh hears him screaming, and he's like... He finds the girl, pins her up against the wall, and shoves a knife in her mouth.
Yeah. I didn't like how after taking out Piglet like a badass, she just goes out like a punk.
But this is when Pooh turns to like a Super Saiyan, because he just turns into a freaking monster after this. So he's chasing the other two girls down, and they find these like rednecks, and they're like, "Get us out of here!" And they decide, "Oh, we're gonna fight this guy."
Because they think that Pooh Bear is like just a normal creep in a mask who's like stalking the girls or doing something else to him. So they all grab some weapons. There's 4 of these guys. They grab some weapons. They circle around him. And this one guy, he's talking a bunch of smack to Pooh Bear's face. Hits him in the face with the crowbar.
And Pooh just tanks it.
And so they all start attacking him, like just all at the same time. They start hitting him. They start like trying to break his knees or something. They kick him in the knees. But nothing happens. So he clenches in his fist and just goes and just wails on him.
He hits one guy, his face comes off. So here's my thing. You're strong enough to karate chop someone's face off. You're pimp slapping that chick, she doesn't even have a bruise.
Mm-hmm.
He breaks this one dude's hand off, then crushes his head under his foot, slits the one dude's throat, and then summons bees to kill the other guy.
He points the bees over to the guy who's running away. The bees all swarm over him, and you assume he's dead. You don't see him stand up or anything after, so
the girls
he's basically dead.
The girls try to drive away, and Pooh, they hit Pooh. He gets under the car and climbs over it.
Yeah,
and he can't break the he just tore somebody's face off, but he can't break a windshield.
And that comes to play later. So the chick who's driving the truck slams on the brakes to shake Pooh Bear off.
She ends up crashing.
Yeah, and so she ends up unconscious for like a minute or so.
The other friend gets dragged out of the car, and Pooh... I remember this in the theater. He was like, "What's he gonna do to her?" I was like, "He's gonna pull her fucking head off."
And you don't see it happen, but you just
he just lifts up her head.
Lifts her head up.
He tears her head off.
So he throws the head at the windshield, covers all of it in blood, so the chick can't see anything. Pulls her out. He's about to kill her when Christopher Robin comes in with a car and just body slams Pooh Bear and just sandwiches him between the two cars.
And you're meant to think Pooh's been killed.
Yeah.
So Christopher Robin's like, "Are you okay? You're Maria, right? Are you okay?" I think her name was Maria. I have
no clue.
I think that's what he said. But Pooh gets up, pushes the car after being pinned between them, having blood dripping out of his body. He pushes the car like nothing happened, grabs the girl, and Chris Robin's like, listen, let her go, take me. It's okay, I know you can still be good. And then Pooh's like, you left, and slices her throat.
And it's the only time he talks in the entire movie, and it's like this really deep,
he sounds
gravelly voice.
Yeah, he sounds like, you left, or something like that. It sounds like, oh, bother. Or,
He sounds really demented.
And he stabs the girl's body, and Christopher Robin runs away, and then the movie just ends.
It just stops.
It just stops.
The movie stops.
Like there's no conclusion.
The movie ends on the climax. There's no resolution or anything. No falling action.
Like,
no resolution. There's no ending.
It just ends. It just stops. And like the credits even end with Winnie the Pooh will return.
Like a Marvel movie.
I was like, okay, you're clearly sequel baiting here.
Yeah.
And let me say this straight up. This movie was stupid as fuck. The characters are really unlikable and dumb.
And there's no reason to really care.
But I'm not. I was laughing my fucking ass off this whole damn movie.
Lots of people in the theater were having a blast.
It is objectively horrible. Like, this is a terrible movie, and I love it so much. Like, I had a great time in this movie, because I knew it was going to be shit. I knew there was no way this was going to be good. And if you embrace it for what it is, which is a dumb as fuck slasher movie, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, it's not scary at all.
The closest thing to scary is the shot with Pooh Bear's eyes.
Yeah.
Where he's just staring into the camera right.
One thing the movie never explains is what the hell happened to Owl and Rabbit.
Yeah, because you see them in the beginning, the little animation thing. So Eeyore's the only one who dies.
And Piglet, but
so Eeyore's the only one who's dead in the beginning.
Yeah.
He's been eaten and he's been killed and eaten. So it's just Pooh Bear, Piglet, Rabbit, and Owl, but you don't see Rabbit or Owl.
Did they eat them too? They never explained that. Maybe in the inevitable sequel, this movie easily destroyed its fucking made back his budget 10 times over.
Without breaking a sweat.
This movie cost less than $100,000 to make. This movie's already made almost $2 million, which doesn't sound like a lot when your budget's less than $100,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a sequel. I wonder if Rabbit and Owl will be in that.
Probably.
Maybe one will be a good guy, and then one will help Pooh. I don't know.
Who knows? Because
the only way the sequel could go, it can go in two ways. One, the beginning of the movie, Pooh finds Christopher Robin and rips off his head. Or Christopher Robin goes and trains up and goes to take down Pooh. Those are the only two ways this can go.
Yeah.
And if they make it, I'm going to go see it. I was like, I took...
to see it too.
It was me, him, another friend of ours, and our friend's girlfriend. Our other friend was dressed just like Winnie the Pooh in the movie, and he had the same type of body build, so that was kind of funny.
It was so funny.
I don't think he did it intentionally, but he loved it. He thought this was fucking ridiculous. He didn't think it was good at all. Like, I know the movie shit. I'm telling you right now, it is a terrible movie.
Yeah.
But it's incredible because of how poor it is. It's just funny.
It's funny bad.
He loved it. He embraced the bullshit. His girlfriend's never going to talk to me again. Like, straight up told me, you ruined my childhood. And I was like, well, that was the point of the movie.
Pretty much.
I would honestly recommend watching it when it comes to VOD or streaming or something.
Or maybe go watch it in the theater, because...
If you have a group of like-minded friends, go watch it in the theater. Yeah. By the time you guys watch this, the Fathom event will probably be over, because it's not a wide release. I think it's like a week-long Fathom event.
Maybe.
But we saw 2 movies today. And I actually had more fun in Winnie the Pooh than the other one, which is sad. For those of you who know the date, I'm sure you know what movie we went and saw. I'll maybe talk about that in the future. But for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey specifically, it's so stupid, and I love it. It's my new... For those of you who've seen The Room, you know where I'm going with this. It's my new Room. I'm going to show this to all of my friends. I'm going to laugh, and they're going to hate me.
Sounds about right.
But that's okay. So, Dan, what do you think?
Well, It was definitely a Winnie the Pooh slasher movie.
Oh, one thing too.
Lots of people died.
Winnie the Pooh, like the designs of the characters. Winnie the Pooh sorta looks like he has a general resemblance to Winnie the Pooh. In a general sense, like you could tell that's supposed to be Winnie the Pooh. Piglet's just a guy in a hog mask. He looks nothing like Piglet.
There's no resemblance at all.
It's just a guy in a hog. Like he's wearing a black shirt and these like boots.
It's clearly not Piglet.
But it's Piglet, but doesn't look anything like Piglet.
And with Pooh Bear and Piglet, well, with Piglet, it's just like a realistic warthog. So okay, it looks like an animal, I guess, but it's just a mask. But with Pooh Bear, it's basically just a mask. Because he's got this grin on the entire time.
The face does move sometimes. Like, there was one time where he's like, he smiles huge, he's about to rip somebody's head off.
He smiles like the Grinch at one point.
Or there's one point where he frowns.
But it's not a believable bear.
No,
it's not really.
He looks like
Winnie.
He looks like a demented Winnie the Pooh, which is, granted, what he's supposed to be. But
it would have been more effective and creepy if some makeup was done, like put a bunch of
they didn't have the budget
fur on it or something.
What studio was going to give this movie budget to make that?
Who knows?
Exactly, but if you have a twisted sense of humor and you love shitty slap, like if you're a fan of Friday the 13th, this is right up your alley.
Pretty much.
But don't go into this expecting a good movie, because if you do, you are not the right audience for this.
You're gonna hate it.
Yeah, like, I went in knowing it was gonna be shit. So,
yeah, me too.
Anyway, we have gone on about the movie for almost half an hour.
Yeah.
It's time to wrap this up. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching this. I have not opened my drink yet. I am surprised. I'm going to now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stick around for more. Maybe I'll talk about that Grinch horror movie someday that I haven't seen yet.
Maybe.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Bye.